Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I hope everyone is doing okay. This video is the war on inflation has begun. Old school pork stew. Okay, so what is the war on inflation all about anyway? Well, it's about protecting our standard of living, and that is no joke. I've been doing it my entire life. I don't think I can do this without burning myself really bad, so we're just going to have to go with one flame tonight. Okay, so the first thing is old school. I have no desire to revisit the Depression. I have a desire to avoid anything like a depression at my house. The first thing I did was I bought a pork roast. I wasn't planning on doing this. I bought this pork roast marked down half price. See, it was $5.25 and it was $10.53, and I cut it in half, and this side has the bone, and I saved all the fat and the fatty pieces of meat. And I will use the fatty pieces of meat to make some beans. So what we have here is old-fashioned pork stew. Here it is, you guys. So the thing about this that's good is the meat cost me $2.50. Less, really. Okay, so what I did is I cut the pork roast in pieces, but I started out with potatoes on the bottom, onions on top of the potatoes, so I had 2 potatoes and 1 onion. You can make as much as you want. Then I put the pork meat on the top so that I could see my whole pan was covered with pork. And then I filled my pan with water, and then it calls for salt and pepper, but I didn't put, this could be any meat. This could be hamburger, sausage, anything. So back in the day, there was no Whoppers. And so what you do, this is a good thing really to make in a crock pot. But what you do is you cook it, you make it boil, and then you cook it. I got this little ladle at Dollar Tree. I've been buying some nice stuff there. I'll show you in a minute. So, owie. This, notice I found the lid to my pan. That's progress. Okay, so look at this. So how I figure out if it's done is I just take a piece of pork. This is really, really hot. And I eat one, and when it's very tender, it is done. So I have some sea salt. Of course, this stuff tastes really good on your food. Don't go overboard, but you know, a little bit. And pepper, black pepper. Okay, this has to cool for a minute before I can possibly eat it. So then, to go with my pork stew, I bought biscuits, and I thought, well, you know, these biscuits in a can are more expensive. Well, I don't know, but I made these really great biscuits. And I made them out of a biscuit package, and it only made 3. And I ate one as soon as it came out of the oven because I couldn't wait. And I had some, let me find a little plate around here. Okay, how I did this, the trick is don't over bake your biscuits. So what I did was I put the biscuit mix in a big bowl, and I made a hole in the middle like the old time way. This is old time food, but it's not processed so much. Then I just wet the dough basically, and then I shaped it into a little ball. And then I put it on a board and I flattened it out. Then I took my rolling pin and just flattened it a tiny bit. And I had a biscuit maker, and I cut them out and it only made 3, but I thought that is okay. 3 really good biscuits, yes. Take a look at this. This could be any kind of biscuit mix. This is just the one I had. I showed you this, right? Here is my homemade butter. You can see some of it's gone. What I did is I had a heavy cream. I don't remember where I bought it, but I'm telling you, if you get your heavy cream really fresh, like this one is good until 4-1. So dig around it. The butter and everything is going to come out so much better. And then this is some jam I made, some blackberry jam. So, okay, so you're going to make yourself a little homemade stew and some biscuits, or if you have some good bread, that's good. And, you know, you can get by. All right. So, here we have it. So you don't really have to panic about fruit. What you can do is just lurk around and find your fruit at a good price. Let's see if this... Okay, so this is just plain old pork roast. I'll eat it over my plate. But I want to demonstrate to you that this is very, very tender meat. See, look. You could use some barbecue sauce. Okay. Homemade applesauce. All the recipes are on Rhoda Stone Twitter. And this will taste good with my pork stew. So it seems like a little bit more work, but it's so much cheaper. And so here is my homemade applesauce. I think this one has cranberries. But what I really use this for is making bread and cake. So this is very delicious as well. So maybe think about it, go, yeah, I don't really want to cook. I don't really want to eat crap. I have some, oh, I'll put it in my teapot. You guys didn't see this. This is black tea from Dollar Tree. I like it because 2 bags makes 4 cups. Okay, where can I put this? Oh. So, okay, let's have my black tea. And then I bought, where is it? What did I do with that? Oh, I know where I did with it. 50 cents, 99 cents only. And then I just put them in the freezer. So, I'm going to be making some cheap stews and some cheap food. Okay, when I made my butter, it generated milk, and I put 1 teaspoon of vinegar in it. If you want good buttermilk, you have to make your own. Now, I mentioned to you that I was looking into the Egyptians, and they would take bread, meat, cake, and wine to the afterlife. So they also had a medicinal vinegar tea. And I mentioned to you that Alexander the Great would protect his army by putting vinegar in the water, but I had no real idea how much vinegar to water. Well, I found out 1 tablespoon of vinegar in a tall glass of water. So here is my whey. And I already drank 1 cup. So I would figure I could heat this. I figured 1 tall glass would be 2 cups. And so when I made myself some tasty cottage cheese, homemade, this is good. I don't need it for tonight, so I just boiled the milk. And I use shelf-stable milk from Dollar Tree. This is the good stuff. This is the homemade stuff. I boiled 2 cups of shelf-stable milk. Let's see if I can find it. From Dollar Tree. And I put 1 tablespoon vinegar. You can use lemon juice. I let it set for 10 minutes, then I drained it. I secured the whey and the cottage cheese. So what we have going on here is a whole bunch of cheap skills that are going to come in handy. So, okay, so biscuits with homemade jam, pork stew, homemade applesauce, homemade cottage cheese, homemade buttermilk, and the pork stew. Okay. And then the vinegar whey. So, okay, so now. One thing I got today, I wanted to mention this, is I bought another one of these. This is not cheap, and it came all beat up, but all the soups were there. So if you have a sandwich and soup, you can get by. Last night I made a very tasty sandwich. It was my deli meat from Walmart. It was roast beef. I don't know if I can find it. I can't find it easily, so you're just going to have to take my word. I bought a piece about this big and I cut it in 4 pieces. So then I defrosted it, and it was thick cut roast beef. And it was about $15. It's on my Twitter. And so I defrosted it 1 minute on each side, and it came out perfect from the frozen state, and I sliced it up. I toasted 2 pieces of bread on each side lightly. Then I had good Swiss cheese. So on one side of the bread, I had the melted Swiss cheese. On the other side, I had the roast beef that I sliced up, and I put horseradish on it, and that was a really good sandwich. But this is, I bought this, I just tried this the other day. This is very good ham, and it was from Dollar Tree to $1.25. So this is 4 sandwiches as opposed to the 1 roast beef sandwich, and I could make it exactly the same way. And so what I'm going to be searching around for is cheaper alternatives to protect my standard of living. So the instant soup is add water only, and I also had some stockpiled some tasty chips that were cheap. So I'm going to go back to Dollar Tree now. Okay, the grape juice that I made homemade was really good, but I can get this at Dollar Tree. This is $2.50 for 2 bottles, storable. But the homemade grape juice was 100 times better, but it was $7.99 for 3 pounds of grapes. So, so be thinking about, also I can buy raisins very, very cheap. Okay, so juice, jam, sauerkraut, and pickles are really going to we're really filling your budget. Okay, I went down to refill water and there was none. And I thought, well, it's no big deal. There's several places I can go. But what I did when I was making my stew is I boiled water for 10 minutes in my big saucepan. And you know the water is safe enough at this point, and I use that and my stew is fine. So either refill water or boil your tap water. I bought 24 packages of toilet paper, the cheap stuff at Walmart, because I thought, you know what, I am not revisiting that toilet paper shortage. So I bought that for $24, you know, the cheap ones for an emergency. Okay, I mentioned, so I thought the biscuit mix was going to be cheaper, but the cans are five for $1.25, and the biscuit mix is a little bit more expensive but storable. Okay, I mentioned to you guys that to make my root beer floats, I bought little containers of ice cream. I think it was 12 for $5, but now I'm going to ditch that and I'm going to buy the pints of ice cream in all various kinds at Dollar Tree. And I found a good root beer is Walmart. Also, I did buy drinks at Ralph's. So and these are painless ways to cut your expenses. Okay, this is one of the striped sweaters I bought so cheap. And I bought another one, and I'm perfectly satisfied with my thrift store, you know, sweaters. Who cares? I'll wear them and then I'll unload them. All right, the utilities out here are brutal. Like how brutal? Like $1,800 a month, like $500 a month. And they think that's reasonable, and it's not. Okay, if the utilities, rather than sitting in the dark, I had neighbors who the only lights they had in the house were Christmas lights. One could turn the breaker switch off, everything except the refrigerator, and run an extension cord for a heater or an electric blanket. So keep that in mind. Also, one could make like a bug out in a large closet. Easier to keep that heated. Okay, the birds and I would have to share the bedroom. I don't like the idea of breathing bird dander because these birds are pretty damn filthy, right? Even though even though I'm constantly cleaning them, like you hear them flapping, I have bird feathers all over the darn house because of these two. But if needs be, you know, we'd have to like bundle up, you know, I couldn't let them freeze. I went to the pet store where I got them and there was no heat, and I thought, oh my God, you know, the birdies. Babies, you want to say hi to the YouTube families real quick, please? All right, babies. This is what they do. Say hi. Babies, I couldn't let you stay in the shadow. Turn around and look in the camera. Yeah. They're twice as big as they were. I was thinking about buying a bigger cage and buying another one, and I thought, are you a lunatic? Forget that. Okay, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you all.